Welcome, curious souls, to another descent into the dark corners of forgotten America. Tonight, we take you deep into the mist-shrouded mountains of Appalachia, where the map fades and legends begin. Far from any modern road, hidden beneath a canopy of ancient trees, lies a village lost to time, Hemlock Hollow. Most people have never heard of it. Those who have wish they hadn't. According to whispers passed between hikers and locals, Hemlock Hollow is a place that never truly sees daylight. It exists in a perpetual dusk, wrapped in fog, silence, and sorrow. Some say it's abandoned. Others say it was never really alive. But the most chilling part of the legend, the rule. No one must ever wake up at 3 a.m. The elders rarely seen and never speaking claim the village is ruled not by people, but by spirits. Ghosts that drift down the empty streets. Shadows that sit quietly on porches. Cold eyes that watch from behind broken windows. At exactly 3 a.m. each night, they say Hemlock Hollow enters its most cursed time, the hour of the hollow. What happens during that hour? Why must no one wake? And what happens if they do? Tonight, we're peeling back the fog, one secret at a time. Stay close, stay quiet, and whatever you do, don't look out the window. Welcome to Hemlock Hollow. The villagers, those who remained, followed a strict custom passed down generations. Be asleep by 2:45 a.m. Do not speak or open your eyes if you awaken during the hollow hour. And above all, never, ever move. Those who broke the rule disappeared, leaving behind nothing but their bedsheets tangled and cold, and the echo of a scream that no one could quite remember hearing. But there was a paradox in the legend. Some claimed, though very few dared speak of it, that the curse could be broken. That if someone woke at exactly 3 a.m. and faced the spirits, something strange would happen. The ghost who possessed them would die instead. This rumor spread only through the bold and the drunk in nearby towns, in gas stations and half-burned bars. No one believed it, until Jacob Hayward decided to find out. Jacob was a documentary student from Boston with a fascination for cursed places. When he heard about Hemlock Hollow, he packed his gear, camera, thermal recorder, and a notebook filled with half-legends and whispers. He arrived in the village during autumn, when the trees bled orange and the air tasted like cold iron. He met the villagers pale, quiet, slow in their movements, and asked to stay. An old woman named Miss Wren offered him a small cottage near the edge of the woods. She told him one thing. If you hear them call your name at 3, don't answer. Don't open the door. And whatever you do, don't try to be a hero. Jacob smiled politely, but he had no intention of sleeping. The first night. Jacob set up cameras in his room, one pointed at his bed, one toward the window. He drank coffee and waited. At exactly 3 a.m., the house trembled slightly, like a breath had passed through it. Then nothing. He reviewed the footage the next day. At 3:01 a.m., the video flickered. A dark figure moved past the window. His audio recorder picked up a whisper. "Wake up, Jacob. You can end this. Just look." He hadn't heard it with his ears, but the camera had. The second night. He stayed up again. This time, he sat at the edge of his bed, armed with a flashlight and a crucifix. At 3 a.m., the whispering began in the walls. "Wake up, wake up, wake up." The lights flickered. The air froze. A shadow moved across the floor toward him. Without any source, he didn't move. Suddenly, his flashlight turned on by itself and the shadow vanished. He knew then something could be hurt by light. The third night. He walked into the village square the next day. No one looked at him. No one spoke. Miss Wren grabbed his arm and said, "They know you're testing them. Stop. You're not from here. You're not protected." He ignored her. That night, he placed salt around his bed, turned on every light, and waited. At 3 a.m., all the lights exploded. In the sudden darkness, a figure appeared at the end of his bed. A woman, pale and soaked in water, her mouth open as if in a scream, but there was no sound. Jacob did what no one in Hemlock Hollow had done in over a century. He opened his eyes and spoke. "What do you want?" The ghost froze. Its mouth began to move, as if struggling to remember how to speak. Then a whisper. "You broke the rule, so I must break mine." And with a cry that cracked the air, the ghost exploded into a gust of wind. The mirror in the room shattered. Then silence. The next morning, the fog was gone. The sun rose over Hemlock Hollow for the first time in generations. The villagers stepped outside and blinked into the light, weeping without knowing why. Miss Wren stood beside Jacob and said, "You ended it. You woke at 3 a.m. and lived." But Jacob noticed something. His shadow stretched toward the east, away from the morning sun. "Miss Wren," he asked, "did I really end it?" She looked at him for a long time. "No," she said finally. "You just passed it on." Jacob returned to Boston. But every night since, at 3 a.m., he wakes with a jolt. His cameras flicker. His windows creak. And sometimes he sees a reflection in the mirror that isn't his own. Back in Hemlock Hollow, a new sign stands at the village entrance. Do not wake at 3 a.m. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the haunted heart of the American wilderness. If the story of the village that dares not wake at 3 a.m. gave you goosebumps, you're not alone. Legends like these remind us that some places are better left undisturbed and some hours never meant to be crossed. Remember, folklore often hides fragments of truth. Whether it's a restless spirit, a cursed time, or a forgotten town buried in silence, the unknown still whispers through the trees and shadows. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow seekers of the strange and supernatural. Hit the bell icon so you'll never miss the next ghost story lurking in the dark. And here's a bit of advice. If you find yourself in an unfamiliar village deep in the woods, don't set your alarm for 3 a.m. Until next time, keep your doors locked, your candles lit, and your eyes on the clock. Because sometimes it's not the ghosts who find you. It's the ones you accidentally awaken. Stay safe and stay curious.